I don't stutter when I talk. I've said he's been out. He's not doing anything what he's supposed to be doing.
Sorry, I've got to play that one.
I don't stutter when I talk. I've said he's been out. He's not doing anything what he's supposed to be doing.
Oh, fuck's sake. You know where you just fuck up completely. I don't start, but we might do a little bit. We might do a little bit of a watch along later because there's a 10-minute video of Big Six from the other night, and it is beautiful just watching a Liverpool fan get broken down, basically. But yeah, how are you, Pulpy?
All right, mate. Yeah, doing good. You?
I am. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing very good. Thank you very much. Apart from the throat that I can't. Well, I don't want to get rid of my throat, my whole throat, but the frog in my throat that I can't seem to get rid of. But apart from that, I'm good. I'm good. I'm very good. We are 3 days into an international break. Actually, we haven't caught up since the Brentford game. And get your overall view. You happy?
First half was happy. Second half was crap, and we got a win over the line, which we probably would have lost.
Yeah,
early on the season and last season. But we might have dropped points early this season, and last season we would have lost that. So
yeah, facts, we would have. I think. Do you know what I had? I had a bit of a heated debate yesterday with a Liverpool fan on Never a Foul, and it was about because he was basically saying, "Oh, hold on a second, Daps. Hasn't your team lost 2 games on the bounce this season in the league?" Because basically he's saying, "Oh yeah, we might have lost 3 games, but it was only 2 in the league. Yeah. So hasn't your team also lost 2 games?" I said, "Yeah, we have." I said, "So let's give a bit of context to that. The 2 games that we lost, we didn't have Vardy." I said, because I know that as a Liverpool fan, and I know you did have Van Dijk, but if you didn't have Van Dijk for those 2 games, you would be screaming it from the rooftops, right? And letting everyone know that the 2 games you lost, you didn't have Van Dijk. So just a bit of context there. And he started kind of going, "Yeah, well, Vardy isn't as important to you." And I think maybe we underestimate the importance of Vardy in our defence.
Well, you could say that about anyone. If it was Diaz was missing, or if they keep, yeah, they'll grab onto anything to make their situation seem better by elevating somebody else is worse than they always do it.
But what we're going to do today is we're going to go through. We're going to do some player ratings. Not too much news coming out of Manchester City. I know people are focusing around. There's quite a bit about Nico O'Reilly. One thing I didn't see, Nico O'Reilly actually apparently when he joined City's academy at the age of 8, so it was a long time ago. He actually joined as a fullback.
Yes, I've actually read that 10-15 minutes ago myself.
Yeah. I mean, listen, 8 years old. I think it's quite a while ago, but one thing a few people have said to me when he came out with the England squad is they didn't realise just how big he is, and he looks like a unit even against some of the more senior players. But had that. The other bit of news I've just seen, apparently Napoli attempted to sign Calvin Phillips in the dying hours of the transfer window.
On that, you've got to be gutted for Calvin Phillips, aren't you? Well,
or would you? The amount of money that Calvin Phillips is on at City, they probably would have been offering him a damn sight less. But
he's still getting paid. He's still getting the same wage. He's not going to get a pay cut.
I don't know. Would Kevin De Bruyne have been there, guy? Please, fucking no. Please, no.
I mean, could you imagine having been out injured and you're not going to play much football, and your career's kind of like gone to shit, and you've been offered the chance or teased the chance to go to Naples.
Yeah, do you know what?
Yeah.
And to link up with him, what a midfield. McTominay, Gilmore, De Bruyne, and Calvin Phillips.
You know what, right? You probably would do all right over there. It's slower, a bit more.
Yeah.
You probably would be over there and look like a Ballon d'Or player within about a month. But it's always January.
Yeah, and of course, I've just seen it. Someone said it. Rumors about 115 yesterday. You guys heard anything? It's international break. International break. International break. And what do all the media do?
They need something to fill the front pages.
They fill the front pages, and so they go for the team that no one cares about, and that is Manchester City.
Yeah, stir the pot.
Right, let's get into this. I've actually tried to be pretty... I've tried to make some graphics. They're very simple graphics, people, but we're going to do some player ratings. So let's start off by changing the overlay to this one. And then if we share screen...
So the comment there, if Nico Riley's 193, that's 6'3".
6'3".
Yeah. So I'm 194 and I'm 6'4", just.
Yeah, that is big, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is big. Fucking unit, that.
Big lad.
Right. So, player ratings. I think I've pretty much remembered everyone on there. Pretty certain I have.
Oh, he's done his homework here, hasn't he, this lad, on Canva and everything.
I know. Even us above us. Right. So, I've put zeros in for now, people. That doesn't mean that I think they've all been absolutely shite. Let's start with Donnarumma. I'll let you go first.
Me go first?
I'll let you go first. Get involved. Sorry, chat. Get involved as well, chat.
So 6 games, 3 clean sheets. Is that right? I believe it is something like that.
7 games. No, 6 because Trafford played
in the League Cup. Right?
Trafford played in the League Cup.
So I'm thinking, and not only that, didn't he get save of the month twice? Or has he got save of the month as well? So I'm thinking.
Well, I was trying to work out who got. I think save of the month.
Trafford got one, didn't he?
Trafford got one. Yeah.
And then Everyone's saying got save of the month. Yeah. I mean, I'm reluctant to give anyone a 10 unless there's only one person going to give it a 10 in all this. So I'm going to say a solid 9 for Donnarumma.
Oh, you're going to go in for a 9, yeah?
9, okay. Yeah.
See, for me,
he's literally changed my mindset on our goalkeepers to the point where I'm not that one-on-one when he went 3 1-on-1. That right there is why.
Yeah.
Our goalkeeper. Yeah.
I agree with you on that because I was a bit. Well, don't know. We must have a player that can play out from the back. Playing out from the back is the most important thing, and yeah. I've changed my mind, to be frank with you. Having someone, I mean, that save, it wasn't just the save. Like, look, I'm not going to make out like that is the most amazing save I've ever seen in my life. No. But the timing of it.
It's the timing, right? And it's
timing of it.
It's one of them. I said this on with LB, like them saves are what Alisson has done at Liverpool when you just know if you're a striker going through 1-on-1, you go, what more have I got to do? To beat this guy. And they're the saves that here eventually are worth points all season.
Yeah. And I think the other thing as well is saves like that, it allows the players in front of him to have more confidence in him and then to stick to the system.
There's a bit more margin for error when you know.
Because you know you're not nervous. You're not dropping. You're holding your position. That's the one thing that I think is so damn important is in a Pep system is holding your position. And if you have, and the other thing for me with Donnarumma, I mean, he's made a couple of clutch saves, but for me as well, it's the corners as well and the set pieces.
Yeah, that can't be underestimated. He is massive. I said without. He reminds me of Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah,
in the mid-90s.
Yeah,
in the 6-yard box within that goal, when that goal frame, it's mine. I'm coming.
Yeah, 100%.
I will clear everything, and I will get a massive hand on it, punch it to the halfway line, and then like, lads, out you go. I've done my bit.
This is exact. I always use him as my comparison, Schmeichel.
Yeah.
And the other one is even with the save we were just talking about, that was something Schmeichel was so good at, was coming off of his line and making himself huge.
Yeah.
And I mean, Donnarumma is already a big lad, but he makes himself seem massive. And I think you're spot on. Is if you're a forward, you're like, fucking hell, I'm not going to beat this guy today, am I? And your head's gone down.
Look, in comparison to Onana, what was Onana like on corners for United?
Yeah. Facts.
An empty shirt in it. You might as well not be. You might as well have a little 8-year-old kid in there on corners.
Yeah.
It's pointless.
Yeah, agree.
Whereas we've got an absolute colossus in goal.
Right, moving on to James Trafford. So James Trafford, we've had 4 games: Tottenham, Brighton, Wolves, and Huddersfield. So he's got 2 clean sheets in there.
Yeah, it's just been good. That one mistake, he made a bit of a mistake then, and I think
the Tottenham game was poor, but I think Brighton game he was
some good saves in that game as well. So he's made up for it. And let's be honest, if we hadn't signed Donnarumma, he'd still be in net. So I'm thinking 7 out of 10. He can't do much more. He's done all right. You know,
see, I'm going to go. You're going to go with a 7. I'm going to go with a 6. I see people in the chat. Some have said 7. Some are saying 6. There's a 5 there as well. I'm going to go with a. I think maybe I'm being a little bit harsh with a 6. I might come back to this one, but I'm going to put a 6 for now for me. I actually think at one point you could, until we got Donnarumma, there'd be an argument to say that Trafford was our best signing so far.
Yeah, it's just a victim of circumstance. Plus, you know, this is going to define his career now this season, whether or not he sinks or swims right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think he's done all right. He's not made any mistakes. Everyone thought he would. You know, he's stepped up and he looks comfortable. He looks like he's a City player. So for me, yeah, I'm happy with him.
And with I don't know, just quickly, did you see the Liverpool game at the weekend against Chelsea?
Yeah.
Their keeper distribution. Now that looked worrying. Well, not worrying. I'm kind of quite happy with it. But their keeper with his feet, completely different to Alisson as well. So it's interesting that they might be going that way as well. Right then, on to Nico O'Reilly.
I'll let you go first, mate.
Right. I've got to give him an 8 out of 10. I'm thinking, do I go higher than an 8 out of 10? Nah, I'm going to stick with my ratings. I'm going to give him. Has he made mistakes? I'm thinking, has he made mistakes? And I'm just trying to think of any.
If you're trying to find some, then you're just being overly critical. I think there's not. Wrong,
but then at the same time, going forward, I would say he hasn't been as good going forward this season as he was last season.
I think his role's changed.
Probably, yeah.
I think the role's changed a bit for him. Yeah. I think he's more of a proper genuine left back now than he was before last season.
Yes, yeah. And that maybe is just the way it is interesting. I saw, because I've said, for me, when Aït-Nouri comes back after the international break, that I think O'Reilly has to make a mistake for Aït-Nouri to get that position. But then someone did make a good point to me. Ryan Aït-Nouri has a unique set of skills. And so maybe Everton at home, maybe he might be more suited to that game. But if we need someone that's more defensive, 100%, it has to be O'Reilly.
I think so. We've got that. We've got a good balance there now.
Yeah.
I would personally, as good as O'Reilly has been, I would still eventually go back to Aït-Nouri, knowing what
you would. You would,
yeah. Just based off his portfolio of Premier League work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I am here with, at the moment, Villa away, I'll be playing O'Reilly. Everton at home, I would be tempted to give Aït-Nouri a run.
Aït-Nouri, yeah. It just depends on what you want, how solid you want to be, what their attacking options are against us, you know, and form. one thing that we probably struggled with last year was we had no players in form in a team that just played because they were fit. Now it's form. You're playing well, you're in. You have a bad game, you're out. Somebody else comes in, it's their turn.
Yeah,
so
that's how
I wouldn't be against anyone playing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say 7.5, mate, with the 0.5 coming from a 7 because he's got into the England squad. Otherwise, I think 7 would have been. So 7.5.
Now you made me. All right, I'm going to stick with my 8. I'm going to stick with my 8. Right, and then Ait Nouri. Now, Ait Nouri, 3 games I believe he's played: Wolves, Tottenham, Brighton. I feel for him a little bit because he did get an injury in the. I think he got an injury in the Tottenham game, and I think he also got an injury in the Brighton game. So 2 of the games he's picked up knocks. He hasn't been impressive to me so far.
I'll go straight in, mate. That's just a 5 out of 10, bang average.
I was going to say 5 out of 10.
5, yeah. Lots of room for improvement, and bearing in mind he has been unfit as well. He's injured, so.
Yeah, I would agree with you on the 5 out of 10. Definitely room for improvement. Right. Abdukodir Khusanov. Do you like my pronunciation of that? Khusanov. Khusanov, I have proper. And I think the frog in my throat's helping me say it as well better. But I'll let you go first on this one.
I said all along that once he gets in the team, he'll be hard to get out. And I think he's done that. It was worth him getting in the squad on merit rather than like last season when he played because we had no choice. You know, I think on merit he's there as a right back. He's solid. I don't see his future being at right back, but for now he's one of those that if he can do the right back job as good as if he was to play at right back the way he's done every game now, I think we've got a solid right back there for the future.
Yeah,
and a bit like Gvardiol. Gvardiol's played a lot of left back, and look how he's just comfortably fitted into centre half. So I'm going to just go straight up, say an 8 out of 10. Very, very impressed with him. And he makes a difference. And the big difference he makes is when he doesn't play. We need him. Facts.
I mean, look, you look at the Brighton game, he came off. I think he didn't play against Tottenham, did he? I don't know. He didn't. I'm pretty certain he didn't play against Tottenham. He played against Brighton. We looked solid. He came off. We conceded. Then after that, Man United, quality. Arsenal, quality. He came off. We conceded again. Now, I'm not saying if he was on the pitch, we would have. But there could be a shout that he would have caught, would have, with his pace, got back to Martinelli. So, for me at the moment, where I am with it, with the whole right back thing, is I do understand that people think he will be a better centre back, but I just look at what we have at the moment, and but Vardy and Diaz as a partnership is working, right? And I'm not just meaning in the recent games. We go back to last season. Vardy and Diaz is working. In fact, Vardy or Diaz O'Reilly is working. 4 goals conceded in the last 9 games of last season. So for me, it's the best place for him now. I understand that, look, if we need to rest Diaz or we need to rest Vardy, then it's great to have Khusanov to come in there. But at the moment, for me, I think right on the right is, and because he's the youngest of all of them, I think he's probably the most able to be developed into something. So what are you going to go with?
I'm 8, mate. And I think on the point just made there, the fact that we all know under Pep, you get into the team wherever he wants you to play, and then you sort of like earn his trust, and then you start to develop into those positions.
Definitely earned that, innit?
You know, definitely. So I think like get him playing, you know, but he could get to a point where before he starts playing centre back for City, he's played 60 games as a right back. He knows the league, like Gvardiol did.
Yeah,
he's played games, you know, and there's no seamless transition then because you know it. And yeah, I think he's looking like a real player.
Yesterday I was looking at some footage of him in some of the games, and there's things that I forgot that he did, just simple tackles, simple headers. He does the basics. And I think for me, with, you know, we're so used to having players that are like more about going forward. It's nice to have a defender that you actually just watch do the basics of defending, the basics of passing and just think, this is what we need. This is what we need.
No nonsense, solid.
Yeah.
My only concerns is his temperament, because he loves to snap people in half. However, let's say if he plays against Saka and then or somebody like that, or someone on the left wing, Neto or something in a bigger game, and in the 4th minute he gets booked, you might as well take him off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know well he's not going to be able to resist doing it again. That's my concern. Is what if he can work on that defensive side of stuff, where the physical side of contact, if you can make that into, instead of being booked 6 games out of 10, it's 3 out of 10, then I'm happy with that. But it'll come in time. It's just getting used to the pace of things.
Yeah. See, for me, I'm with you on this, bro. When I remember exactly where I was. I was in Paris airport on the way back from the PSG game, and we just signed him, and I started watching videos of him, and straight away I thought, he's going to be a right back in. Now I was wrong. I actually thought Pep brought him in with the plan of making him a right back, because I just thought straight away, we are a team that has played with 4 centre backs before, with a centre back at right back. But I just looked at his pace and thought, that would make sense for us, and especially the fact Walker had just gone as well. So no, for me, I would say that Khusanov and O'Reilly have been very similar. So I'm going to give them both an 8. Right, then we move on to Rico Lewis. So Rico, what games has Rico played this season? I think Rico played against Wolves, and he was very good against Wolves, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Then not so good when he came on against Brighton. I think he started against Tottenham as well. I'm going to go with Rico Lewis because of that first game. And do you know what? Rico played against Huddersfield as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a 6 for Rico. Yeah, I'm going to go with a 6 for Rico.
Put me down for a 6 as well, mate. I just think he's just a good utility player. It will be a 6 out of 10 every week. And you need those 6 out of 10s. You just come on, do a job. That's it.
Yeah,
do a job.
Very true, very true.
Game where he'll step up and potentially score a goal or something, then that's fine with me.
Yeah.
6 is a good score to have.
Yeah. Okay. People, make sure you smash that like button, please. The like button is really important. Of course, it helps to bring more people to the channel. So please take 30 seconds out just to check that your like button is lit. And if it isn't, please give it a lit. And if you're watching on playback, the same as well. Right, Mateus Nunes. He's had the bad moment against Brighton. But then, for me, I thought Nunes was really good against Brentford.
You want players that are fighting for positions on form, and he's going to do that. And he offers us something different. So
people giving 7s.
Yeah, I'm going to say 6.5.
Yeah, I think has he been that much better than Rico Lewis? When you look at Rico Lewis,
I think he's been a little bit better than him. Well, not as good as Khusanov, so I think somewhere in between that is.
Yeah, Nico, do you know what? And he was good when he came on against Arsenal team as well, to be fair to him. I still really, really like Nunes. He makes this run into midfield, right? That I really, really, really fucking like. He's very good at driving with the ball. And he's pretty good in the air, you know.
And he's quick. It gets a lot of shit because people need, when they sign somebody, they expect them to come in and be better than what was there all the time. Yeah. And a lot of Nunes' flack has come from the fact that we couldn't sign Guimares or Declan Rice. So he's seen as the poor replacement, which in fact he is, but it's not his fault. You know? And adding to that, he's had some bad games and gives some bad goals away. At the end of the day, you need professionals in your team that are willing just to do the hard graft, go to training. From all things I've heard, he's actually a really good personality as well.
Do you know what? I can't lie to you. I said it at the back end of last season. I wouldn't sell him. And I'm still here saying the same thing. Yeah.
You need ditch diggers. You just do. You need those players that are just willing to fight and go and earn the money and realise they're not the best players. and they're on good money, and just think, you know what, I'm here in the right place for me. I've got to get my head down and work it because there is minutes to be had.
Yeah. See, this one, I'd be interested in testing him on the right wing. See, for me, at the moment, I think the left wing is pretty much nailed on. It's Doku. I know Pep did actually surprisingly start Savio there the other day. So, look, we might see Savio given a bit more game time. I would imagine Savio maybe might start on the left against Swansea. But I would hope that at the moment that left side is kind of nailed down by Doku and also by Marmoush as well when he comes back. Marmoush will probably get a bit of time off the left. The right-hand side for me is an area that I think Bob's looking good, but Bob's looking, to be fair, Bob aesthetically is looking really good. But I have to be consistent with how I was last season. And at the moment, Bob's, what's the word I'm looking for? His impact isn't as good as how good he looks aesthetically. So I still think the right-hand side, I want to see Cherky. I want to see Cherky given a chance on the right-hand side. I think the right-hand side, we certain games, Pep, I think is going to go with Bernardo. I know I said he wouldn't. I really hoped he fucking wouldn't. But by the looks of things, he is still going to go with Bernardo on the right. Nunes on the right-hand side?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. You know what? He's kind of on the same trajectory as a career as Antonio Valencia, Jesus Navas. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know
what? Right wing, and then now
Valencia's
they drop back and they become solid. It takes a while to adjust, but they become a solid. Ashley Young.
Ashley Young, I was going to say as well.
Players like that. Players like that just have the attacking attributes, but are more effective on the ball in that area, coming into those areas than actually proving that you can just be a solid defender and still play, which I think he's learning. So, yeah, I'd love to keep him around. So,
we are going to go with, I'm going to go with a 7 for Nunes.
Yeah, I talked myself into a 7, mate. Yeah. Talked myself into it. Halfway between Rico and
now, this next one might be a bit awkward. John Stones. I don't think he's been great at all.
Yeah. He's not been piss poor, but he's obviously not been very good. He's just been average, and you can see those comments made were interesting about the fact that he wanted to thought about retiring.
Yeah, I did hear that. I did hear this. Sorry, Nick, just quickly. I understand you don't like Nunes, but we're rating the players so far. So we're rating them on how they're performing. And Nunes so far this season, Nitin, he hasn't been bad at all. He really hasn't been bad. So I get overall, if I was to rate him as a player, I probably wouldn't give him a 7. But if I'm giving him on his performance this season, he's a 7 out of 10 for me. Right, John Stones. Yeah. See, I heard that in the summer about the whole retiring thing. Not a nice place to be, that, is it? Where you're so frustrated with it that you're just like, do you know what?
Yeah,
that kind of showed you why.
You all get to that point with something in your life, right?
Yeah.
I think it'll take him a while for him to get up to match fitness. He's had practically 2 or 3 years of doing nothing, in terms of lots of games a season. But he played 11 games last year or something. So it will take a while for him to get up there. He's in his last year of his contract, right?
Yeah, but there's talk of him being extended.
He's got to earn it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I certainly wouldn't want to see anything more than a 1-year extension. And I'm we're going to move on to another player in a minute, but I don't know about John Stones if it would extend it at this point. Look, however much of a cult hero he is, and however amazing for me, Manchester City in our prime was with a fully fit John Stones always. But at the moment, I mean, even watching him against, who was it, against Monaco? Was it him and Bernardo? Was it Monaco? Pretty certain it was Monaco with him and Bernardo down the right-hand side. And ball retention, great. But they just didn't take any risks at all with passes, and a few runs they didn't pick up on. I'm gonna probably go with a 6 out. I'm gonna go with a 6 out of 10 for John Stones. What are you?
5.5.
Oh, fucking hell, he's going with a 5.5. So worst player for you this season?
I know he's been our worst player so far.
Yes, agreed. I know he's 5 out of 10. Yeah. Okay. Right. Next one, and this one's an interesting one as well because international manager's been talking on him. Nathan Ake. Now, Koeman's come out and said basically that he's had a chat with Ake and he's kind of said, look, you're not going to get in this team unless you get game time. Now, they've got De Ligt. They've got the Tottenham defender. What's his name? The fast bastard.
Van der Ven.
Van der Ven. They've got Van Dijk. And that's just from the Premier League. So and Ake at the moment looks out of favour at City a bit. To me, his legs look like they've gone. He doesn't look like he's got that pace. I think he's going to be looking for a move in January, me. Because I think, Van Heckel as well, another shout, otherwise...
It's one of them. I don't think he'll go in January because I don't think the club would want to risk that homegrown player going. But...
that's a good point. But I think Ake is going to be Ake's going to be pushing for it. If he's being told basically you're not going to get in the Holland squad until you're playing, and the World Cup's coming up because this will be his last World Cup, I think Ake has to push for a move.
What we're saying is his position at City this year, left centre back.
Yeah, I think so.
So he's back up to Guardiola, right?
Yeah.
So. We know Guardiola is an absolute Trojan of a defender. He plays virtually every game, right?
Yeah.
So, unless his injuries, he's not going to get much game time.
No.
But it's one of them. Sometimes, I don't think he'll go. However, I don't think he'll get much game time. You just don't know. Guardiola might get a knock. You know, you never know.
When someone mentioned him yesterday, I did think, do you know what? Maybe I'm being harsh, and maybe it is because he's recovering from an injury and his legs aren't gone. Right now, if he gets back to his best, or even 3/4 of it, maybe 4/5 of his best, he's fucking good as a left back.
He is, and he's versatile as well because he can play left back, left centre back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. I think it's good to have around the squad. You just never. I mean, we all know what happened last year. We had injury problems.
I just think
having
it'll be
somebody
him.
like Ake on demand there.
I hear it, but I'm not meaning from a club's point of view. I think he is going to be saying, if you can't give me game time, please loan me out or something in January, because otherwise he misses out on the World Cup.
If let's say he goes in loans in January to, I don't know, say Lazio.
Yeah, Lazio, fine.
He's not going to set the world on fire at Lazio any more than he would with being, you know what I mean? It's not like he's going to go there and score 4 goals, get 2 assists and get 11 clean sheets and get himself in a World Cup, is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ryan's already on a wall by then.
Yeah.
Unless you're a maverick, creative player who's scored 7 goals in 4 games and you catch the manager's eye, then I just don't think it's going to make much of a difference.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, what we're saying, for me, Ake, he's had limited game time. I can't give him any more than a 5 out of 10.
I'm going to do the same with John Stones, 5.5. Little impact, not done much. Not his fault, but...
Yeah. Right. Ruben Diaz. I think Ruben Diaz has been good this season.
People don't want to hear it, but he has.
Yeah.
He stepped up after he got his new contract.
Yeah.
He really has. And I was always vocal about him being a leader on the pitch and like that sort of guy dictating the orchestra, and he does that. And having somebody like that in the back four with an inexperienced right back, which we have, and you get Guardiola, who is, for me, at the moment, the B-side of an A-B-side relationship defender.
Yeah.
In terms of that. So you need a leader at the back. I think he's been brilliant. You know, and I imagine Donnarumma appreciates him a lot because he's stable. So I'm going to say 8.5.
I was thinking, I can't go. I can't give him that extra 0.5. I'm going to go with 8. I think he's been good. I think having Vardiol next to him and I think Khusanov next to him, of course, that helps as well. But I think he's been good. I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10 for me. So I'm an 8.
He looks like he's enjoying himself again.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like it's his old Diaz where he was a winner. He's got a mentality, and I think he feels more confident with the players he's got around him. Stability.
Yeah. Nitin, again, you don't seem to be listening to this. What are we doing, giving average players such high ratings? This is not based on what you rate him as a player. This is based on how he's performed this season. Right? So
it's only been 7 games, right?
Yeah. The last, and he's been good. He's been good. And I will go as far as to say, even back end of last season, him and Vardiol as a partnership were good. They were. We have to. That was with an Edison who'd kind of switched off. No Rodri in front of him. The last 9 games of the season with those two as a partnership, we conceded 4 goals in 9 games.
Whether people are like it or not, that's going to be our defensive partnership this season. Accept it.
But I'm happy with how we're performing defensively.
Yep.
I'm 100%, even more so with Khusanov on the right. I'm happy with how we are performing.
Leave your agendas at the door and just look at what he's done so far this season. He's been good.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I'm not rating it. Overall, if I was to say Ruben Diaz in the last 2 years, then I'd probably go, all right, 6.5. But I'm not. I'm doing it based on this season. Josko Vardiol. Now, I like I started off. You look at the games since he's come back in. We haven't lost a game, so I think he's very important. I'm not going to go over the top with him though, because I actually think against Brentford, he definitely wasn't our best centre back.
He wasn't, and that mistake for their one-on-one was his fault.
Yeah,
and he has that in him.
Yeah,
because don't get me wrong. Last season, there was a period where he was really poor. He played left back a bit and went centre back, and he was really, really poor.
Yeah.
So
I also think going forward, he hasn't been as good as last season. However, he's still, you can see the difference when we go forward with him in the team. So it's not been, for me, I'd probably give him a solid 7.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 7, mate. 7. Been good. Can do a lot better. And he will. But I think, 7. Just a bit better than average for me.
Yeah. Nitin, with what you said there, I will take the poll to X. But I think one thing with when you say, if you take the poll to X, you won't get more than 5 for him. That's how much people dislike Diaz. That's in your element of X. I can tell you now, because you and I follow different people, that mine would be higher than that, bro. So, I'm going with 7.5. And again, Vardiol, see, this is where you're not getting it in. Hey, what are you not getting, bro? Vardiol is City's best defender. I agree. We're not rating them on we're rating them on this season. And this season, if you think that the Vardiol's been better than Ruben Diaz this season, I don't know what you're watching. I don't know if
you're definitely watching with an agenda in front of your eyes.
So I get what you're saying, but we're not doing overall. We're doing based on this season. So I'm going to go with 7.5 for Vardiol. What are you saying?
7, mate.
7.
Yeah.
Right. Nico Gonzalez.
He's improved from last year.
Yeah.
He plays in the Rodri role, but does it a different way. I think he's got more trust now from the players and the team, and he's definitely improved the way he handles that. Yeah. So, has he looked fantastic? No. However, we don't need him to be. I don't want to particularly hear about him having a bad game or an amazing game, as long as he has a good game and he just does what he needs to do in the midfield, and
7.8. The vibe's giving him a 7.8. And I'm thinking, do you know what? I might have to go that way. I think he's getting better every game.
I'm just gonna go over 7, mate. 7.
Yeah. I think
so at 7 for me. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. And it's going to take a while. If Rodri was to disappear off the face of the earth today and he never existed, he'd probably be a very, very reliable player for us. However, people are going to take a long time to deal with this post-World Rodri.
Yeah. See, something, I can't remember who it was that told me. It might have been the Sheikh, but someone was telling me he wins all of his duels. Of his duels.
I expect that of somebody in that position. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say that's the best feature, because I expect somebody who plays that role to have to be able to do that a lot.
Yeah.
The fact that he does is good. That means he's good at his job. A bit like Roy Keane says, just do your job. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not praising you for doing your job.
No, I agree with you on that. He certainly hasn't set the world on fire. I will say, when he came on against Monaco, I think he was probably better than Rodri. Maybe Rodri was carrying a bit of a knock. And I also think against Brentford, one thing that I have been impressed by Nico Gonzalez is if we go back to Rodri first season, Rodri used to take time turning when he received the ball. And he thought he had too much time on his hand. Nico Gonzalez is learning on that quickly. And I've been watching the way he turns, and the way he's been turning the last couple of games is really fucking good. He's looking pretty press resistant.
So when he gets that, he's got the Ballon d'Or winner in training with him every day. And he will have looked up to him for the last 5 years for Spain, right?
Yeah.
So he's got that. And you've got Pep Guardiola, who is the mastermind technician in midfield, who, of all the positions on the pitch, the one that he can say with chest is, this is how you do it, this is how I want you to do, because I've done it that way. You have to be a very special player to be getting any kind of notice from Pep in that thing. And the fact that Pep stuck by him and giving games means that he sees something in him. It's that tough love situation. It is. Phillips has been on the other side of it.
Yeah.
He's not going to come out of that, but Gonzalez looks like he's winning that battle.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I don't think he will be the Rodri replacement. I do have a feeling that we go and get Wharton. I think City are already working on Wharton behind the scenes. I really do. I have a feeling that it will be fully send for Wharton. I know a lot of clubs are interested in Wharton, but from what I'm hearing, City have not missed a game for over a year now. I think Wharton will be the long-term Rodri successor.
It doesn't matter how many clubs are in for him, does it?
But I think with Wharton, I think it'll be one of those ones. You know, when you go for a player, like when we went for Rice as an example, it wasn't like we want you by any means, right?
No, it was more of a case of we'd like you. It wasn't a must-have.
Yeah,
when we have the must-haves, the must-have players,
Erling Haaland,
we usually get them. Yeah,
Erling Haaland as an example, Kevin De Bruyne as an example. Yeah. Kevin De Bruyne spoke on it before, said from the minute the Manchester City showed their interest, it was just different. And I think with Wharton, I think City will be making it so fucking clear, like, we want you to be. I mean, ultimately, if they imagine a club comes to you and says, we want you to be our next Rodri.
Yeah, right? We see something in you that you're going to come to us and you're going to get it. You'll be here for 10 years and you will be winning. And
as a DM, right, winning a Ballon d'Or is probably something that not too many DMs grow up thinking they'll ever get, right?
Yeah.
You've got a club coming to you and saying, yeah, we took a very good DM and turned him into a Ballon d'Or winner. Yeah. We want you to be the next one.
And there's the platform.
I just gave myself goosebumps saying that. We just took a very good DM and turned him into a Ballon d'Or winner, and we want you to be the next one, right? Again, I just got it. You go, fucking hell. Yeah, I'm having some of that, me.
Yeah.
I think we'll be the next one. But that doesn't mean that Nico Gonzalez still doesn't have a place in this squad.
No, you need versatile players. You just do.
Yeah.
Gundogan's a perfect example of, he was signed as an 8. He's played as an 8. He also that season where we won the league with the last 6 games when he was absolutely mint as a number 6.
Yeah,
he just stepped in and did it, and you just know that season he just stepped up and said, "I'm a professional. This is what I'll do. It's not my position, but I'll own it." And that's the sort of player you need that can play all those and just crack on.
Yeah, and you look at the age of Gonzalez. Then you look at the age of
23.
Yeah. Then you look at I think it's 23 or 24. But then you look at the age of you've got Kovacic and you've got Rodri. Kovacic will probably go next summer, I would imagine. And then Rodri, we don't know if he's going to stay or go. So for me, and someone just made a really good point. We're talking about him as a 6. He's an 8. And I think at some point, we do want to see him as an 8. Someone said earlier on about maybe certainly not an Everton at home, right? But at some point this season, I do want to see a pivot of Kovacic and Gonzalez, right? Just to see how that goes.
You will. And we as fans will probably want to see it, but I guarantee that's happening in training every day.
Yeah. Well, after the international break, Kovacic will be back. So, right, we'll move on. Rodri.
So I'm just going to be brutally honest and say he's not been good. He's been all right.
Really? Oh, right. Okay.
He's not been Rodri of levels of old, and he's not looked like that to me.
So he hasn't been Rodri of old. However, has he been good? Has he been compared to other? Because I personally think when Rodri is in the team, and we especially when we were first starting with the Reijnders Foden thing, I think having Rodri there, I think Rodri was good against Arsenal. I think Rodri was very good against Man United. I think more recently, maybe not so, which maybe that shows with.
So on an average, I think.
What are you going to go with?
I'm just going to give a 7. I think a 7. He's been okay.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm giving him a 7. I'm giving him a 7.5. I think he's been better than Gonzalez. Right, Tijani Reijnders.
The first game was a 10. Right, it was brilliant. Yeah. It was like, oh my god, what a pace he's setting here. However, I don't think he's one of them. He loves to have a shot that goes out of the stadium. He just loves hitting one, doesn't he? And he doesn't want anywhere near.
I think he's getting good I think Foden.
His final product has been poor since
his
that.
Final product.
It's his final product. The rest of it's been all right. He's good with link-up play. He dictates play well. He's good on the ball.
He's good. I think because of the fact that he hasn't got his shooting boots, I think that's making people.
It sours things a bit, doesn't it?
That he's worse. Where I think him and Foden in midfield against Brentford in that first half, and Rodri, by the way, the three of them were really starting to fucking link up.
Yeah,
you can tell it's a midfield that's growing. I'm gonna go with. I still don't think he's been any worse than Gonzalez. I think he's probably the same as Gonzalez, a 7 for me.
I'm going to go pure in a 6.5 because I think his form has been, offensively, has been a bit off, and I would be worried that for him, that once Kovacic is fit, he'll probably sit on the bench for a little bit, and he might need that.
Maybe. Yeah. Right, Bernardo Silva.
6 out of 10.
I would agree with you. I think he's done nothing. I mean, look, he's got the work rate, but he's
as a captain, and he's working. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's the way he handles himself, a 9. But I think in terms of playing, 6. Been okay. He's not been poor. He's not been.
I'm a 6.5 for me. The captain bit. The captain bits made me turn that round. People, please make sure you are smashing that like button. A few more players to go through. Right, Phil Foden.
He's definitely showing signs of he's up for it, doesn't he? He's up for the fight.
Yeah, he's looking, for me, at some points, he's looking sharper than ever for me, Foden.
It's hard not to base him on what last season was and the season before. So I'm just going to wipe this slate clean and say, based off what he's done this year, 8 so far.
Yeah, I would agree with you with an 8. I don't think he's done any more than an 8, but I think he's definitely
he's improved and he's affecting games.
Yeah,
he's affecting games for us, whether that be an assist or some driving runs or a goal. He's starting to tick over again with a contribution, which is what we need. Right,
Turkey. It's a hard one because we've only really, look, he was poor against Tottenham. Let's be honest, he was poor against Tottenham. He had a great cameo against Wolves. A really good cameo against Wolves. But yeah, he was poor. He was poor against Tottenham for me.
No, that wasn't his fault against Spurs. He should never have started that game.
No,
you don't throw two.
No, I agree. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree on that. Yeah, I would go with the. I'd go with a 6 out of 10 for me.
I'm going to go 5.5 purely because we've not seen enough of him, and he had one good cameo and one bad performance. So 5.5.
Okay.
And that's not because he's a shit player. It's just because you've only got a couple of things to go off.
Yeah.
One good goal, 10 minutes. And then 55 minutes of.
Do you know what? I'm going to join you on a 5.5. I agree with you. Right, Jeremy Doku.
See, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10.
Giving him a 9?
I'm giving him a 9 because his improvement has been remarkable from what he was last year. And he's a threat now. He's starting to. Well, he's no way near as good as he should be, but it's good to see that he's took on some criticisms and adapted a little bit. And he is literally one of the first names on the sheet in a minute. So
I agree with you. Look, he's been. Do you know what? I was convinced that there's no way him and Haaland are ever going to link up together. I'm not going to go with a 9 though. I'm going to go with an 8.5. I think he's been a little bit better than Foden, but well, you'll see in a minute. When it comes to ratings, I've given a 10 for me is just a. Right, Oscar Bob. Like I said, aesthetically pleasing, impact, not so. Although, again, he did look good. We have to remember he's coming back from a year out.
Yeah, as a young man, where his body's still growing. Yeah. And I go 7. He's tidy on the ball, and I like that. That was it against Brentford, that little dribble where he cut inside, but he lifted the ball a little bit to take out any ambiguity of it hitting someone's foot. He just dinked it. And I think he's got that IQ he's got a dribbling IQ that not many people have.
Yeah. Matt's just said it here. He looks so nice on the ball. He keeps running. Yeah.
He's got a good defensive
you've
work
just
ethic.
Up spot on. That is, I totally agree with that. And I just don't want it to get like it was with Savio last season, where it's all great on the eye, but then it starts like he's trying to force a goal. The good thing with Bob does. Right, so at the moment, Bob is getting to a position where before his injury, he would score. And at the moment, he's not. He's cutting it back. Right, whereas he was so confident before his injury, he was scoring. At the moment, though, we're going to move on to Savio. If I'm being honest, I would rather continue with Bob at right. I want to give Cherky a chance on the right, but at the moment, with me, I would rather stick with Bob at the right than Savio. I do know Savio's been injured, but I have. When Savio has played, I think he played. Well, he played against Brentford, didn't he? And I think he played against Huddersfield as well.
Yeah.
got a goal against Huddersfield, but apart from that,
I mean, I wouldn't be banging on about that.
I'm not seeing 70 million in Savio. At this point, I'm wishing we took that 70 million.
That doesn't come into my thinking, to be fair. It's not his fault. It's not half. It doesn't devalue his playing performances. I'm going to say 5.5. He's not been anywhere near as good as he should be.
Yeah. I mean, he
has been injured, let's be fair. He has been injured. And he's had all this shit going on off the field. So,
but I would agree with you. I look, we're going to have him for another. We're going to have him for another season. Clearly, we've given him a new contract. Surprised me a little bit, but you know, you know what? I've been proven wrong on Doku. So
that's what I was about to say. If Doku can get his head down and crack on and improve by 10-15% in a season, then if Savio can, after what was actually not a bad season, if you think about it, you know, if he can get 8 goals, 8 assists this season, I think he's done really well. So
yeah, I for me, I need to see more from him. Maybe Pep Lijnders needs to get his arm around him, because I do think Pep Lijnders has something to do with Doku, right? And the change in Doku. Maybe Pep Lijnders needs to work a bit closer with Savio. Maybe he hasn't had time to yet because of the injuries. I don't know, but let's wait and see. But
it's still early in the season, yeah.
For me at the moment, he's not cutting it. I would rather see Cherky there. I would rather see Bob there. But yeah, right. Marmoush. I've got to be honest, although I predict big things for Marmoush this season, I'm going to have to score Marmoush quite low as well, because I know he's been injured again, but when he has played against Tottenham as an example, he missed some quite important chances.
Yeah. I mean, we've not got much to go on, have we? So I'm going to say 5.5 as well.
I would
be critical of Savino, you got to be critical of Marmoush and say,
and
season's not really started for him yet.
Yeah, with Cherky, Savio, and Marmoush, we haven't seen much of any of them. But yeah,
I mean, given the scores we've all given them there, which are the same, it can only improve based on match performances. So,
right then, and then we move on to Erling Haaland. Now, are you going to give him a 10 out of 10?
No.
You're not, right?
No.
I was going to say neither am I.
9.5, the best player this season.
I would agree with you. And do you know what? The reason why I'm not... you could have an argument to say 10, because he's scoring every game. He's getting back... getting involved in the build-up play. He's getting back. He's getting involved defensively. The only reason why I would not give him a 10 is because of what he has said himself, and that I didn't do my job in the second half against Monaco, as an example. And if we sit there and look at it, listen, he has been absolutely amazing, but he has missed a few chances, right? And the same way that against Brentford, we didn't kill that game off. So and I'm being picky here because he has been absolutely phenomenal. But I'm going to go with a 9.5 as well.
I just don't want to. I can't give anybody a 10. I just can't. That's like perfection, right? And he's not been perfect.
Well, for me, it's just the fact that there have been a few times that he maybe could have killed off games, and he's come out and admitted it himself. Harsh giving him a 9.5 is mental.
That's what I mean, but I think like 10 out of 10 is perfect. There's no flaws, and we can't all say he hasn't had a few things. It's like his own critical stuff, and you know, there's a few chances that he scored harder chances this year. So, look, let's be honest. We all think he's had an amazing season so far, and I just want to leave some room for improvement, because if he was to go to a 10, then fuck me, we are in for a good time.
Yeah. And I agree with you on this, the vibe. His defensive contribution has been the most impressive. Even the other day against Brentford, the minute that we started to look under pressure, I watched him drop deep and get involved defensively. I think, do you know what? For me, Erling Haaland, do you know what? I'm going to bump it up a little bit more because I'm just gassing myself talking about him. I'm going to bump mine up to a 9.8. Last season, when he got his new contract, he got made part of the leadership group, right?
Yeah.
Now, we know that when Jack Grealish had his child, Pep had a chat with him and said, now's time for you to mature and step up a little bit, and he didn't. With Haaland, he's been given that armband and he's gone, or he's been given that lead, that responsibility, and he's fucking taken it on his shoulders and he's worn it. And you can see how much it means to him to be a leader, right?
He's grown up overnight, hasn't he? He's got a man.
I just think some of his dad must be a sensational motivational speaker, you know. I think his dad must, and maybe his mum as well, but I just think the way he's taken that leadership and ran with it, and I do believe he should be, in the future, he should be captain from what I'm seeing.
I had my former boss knew Alfie Haaland quite well when he was working in City, right? And he told me something actually this week about Alfie Haaland, because I had the same conversation with him about Haaland in the leadership group. And he said, the mindset of Alfie Haaland is it was fucking win at all costs. If you have to be dirty, I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes to win. He might not have won all, but it was like in that mindset, I will do when I'm on the pitch, is everything I can do to win the game. And I think that's starting to rub off on Haaland is, yes, you can score goals, but you are now responsible for every part of that team to win games.
It's everything. It's
everything.
Like him and Donnarumma, it's like he's needed a partner, right? And I do feel like
let's have it.
I do feel like when I think we went away on a trip somewhere, and he said no Jack Grealish, and it was like, do you know what? He has had a few players leave from around him, right? It's like he needed a partner, right, with the same mentality as him. And him and Donnarumma, and it looks like Donnarumma will ride into any battle for Haaland as well. Those two, I'm going to bring it down now. Should have squared it against Arsenal. So I'm going to make it a 9.7 because you're right. You should have squared it against Arsenal.
Flip-flop.
There we go. Right. There we go. There's our player ratings, people. We've managed to get it done in an hour. I will be doing these tomorrow with LB and Big Steve as well. And then I'm going to put them all together into a graphic and put them out.
LB loves a 3.5 out of 10 for players.
Does he?
He does love a low mark.
Well, okay. No,
he does love a harsh low mark.
So, people, hold on a second. Let me just shrink that. How do I shrink that? It's like that. That'll do. People, please do. It's gonna put it back there, isn't it? Right, hold on a second. I'll do. Please do go and check out our sponsor, Match Bingo, which, if you don't know, I've already won £500 off of £4 on there, so it's worth having a go. Yeah.
Stuffy, yeah.
I know. First time playing, and it was during the last international break. I got. So basically, I spent £4, so you get a load of lines on teams to score, and it was Division 1. And I didn't even know. And then the guy that runs it messaged me going, "You jammy bastard, you've won." Right? But so you say you put in £10, you'll get £20 spend. Use the code City, and of course, go and check out OK Jerseys. Use the code OK at checkout to get a further 8% off of £15. All your latest City jerseys and all your historic City jerseys on there as well. Pulpy, anything coming up you need to push?
For me, no. Although, if anyone has been following my social media, I have been doing this like job hunting thing.
Oh, I might join you on that.
Well, I've been looking for a job for the last 8-9 days, and I think I've got one, so that's good news.
Oh, mint quality! Yeah. Congratulations, bro. I can't lie; it's something that I'm really burying my head in the sand about a bit, because I'm 17 years at my old company. I haven't gone through this process, and it's a bit daunting. But I need to get my arse in gear out there.
I did. Before I got this job, I did 6 months of sort of job search and got 115 applications, and got four letters back saying I can have an interview, and got rejected for more. It's brutal out there for jobs, mate. So I'm very fortunate that I've been recommended for a job through my old work, and hopefully
I'm hoping that some of that might happen, because I kind of
that's it. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and I don't like that, but that's the world. So good luck, mate.
Oh, and last thing before we go, Pep rating.
Pep,
yeah,
he's got his fight back, so I'm going to say an 8.
I'm going to go 8.5 because he's shown his willingness to be less stubborn. And
I think he recognised, and I think internally he's recognised that last season wasn't good enough, and the staff weren't up to getting the best out of him. And I think that rejig has given him something to fight for. And I feel like he's got his arrogance back.
Yeah, agreed. Right, people, this is going to redirect over to Never a Foul, where we are going live straight away. Until then, I'm going to leave you with the Scouse Stutterer.
I don't stutter when I talk. I've said he's been out. He's not doing anything what he's supposed to be doing.